Yep.
Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager 6 stream. My name is Adam, Community Manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and not pictured on your screen, but controlling his double stream tonight is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are live and back with our You're Making Me Crazy, the Macon Mayhem SPHL 2019-2020 season. Jeff, when I'm talking about double streams, for people who are not paying attention, last time you streamed, we tried to stream live on Steam as well as our Twitch page, and it appears we finally have everything working correctly.
Yep, a little technical thing I didn't know to do last time that I did this time, and so I think we've got both streams going now, so welcome to anybody who's watching us on Steam for the first time. Hopefully we can, I think I've got the bandwidth here to handle the two connections at once, so far so good, as I'm not getting any frames drop warning or anything, so I think we'll be fine with this, but we should probably, I guess, explain a little bit more for the people who are new to the game. It's Franchise Hockey Manager. This is a hockey management simulation. If you're familiar with Football Manager, essentially the same thing, only for ice hockey. You can control any one of, so I'll open up the window here, the menu here, and we've got about 30-something leagues you can take control of a team in. Normally, most people will tend to play in the National Hockey League. You can see the current standings in the game we're playing right now. But at the moment, we've doing something a little different, and we've gone down to the single A level, you would call it, of hockey, the Southern Professional League, which is teams scattered around there's a few teams in the Midwest, mostly around the Southeast U.S., Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and then a couple going up into Illinois and Virginia. So what the team we took over was the Macon Mayhem, who are a little unusual in that they don't have any parent teams at all. So we have to sign everybody ourselves. And it's sort of a motley collection of lower-level minor league guys here. And we didn't get off to the greatest start. We had a pretty good team on paper. Unfortunately, that didn't translate into much success out of the gate. We're currently just barely clinging to that number eight playoff spot. 2 points up on the 9 and 10 teams, but we're slowly starting to turn it around. We signed a few free agents out of, I think, a couple of lower-level leagues, guys that were playing senior hockey up in Canada. And we're hoping this improves now. The schedule in this league, you can see they tend to play weekends only. So we get, what happens is we'll get 2 or 3 games concentrated in a really short period of time. So we'll have a fresh team in for the first one, and everybody's worn out for the second, or, God help us, the third one if we get 3 in the space of 2 or 3 days, or in 3 or 4 days rather. But right now we've just come off a win where we've got another game today and then another game the day after that. So you can see our fatigue levels on some of the guys. I'm actually going to swap out Sanders here because he's nursing what kind of an injury is he got here? Whoops. Just a facial cut, but his fitness has also gone down to 51%. So we don't want that, so I'm going to swap in Minerva, the other defenseman who's been sitting out the last couple for us. And one other injury, Chase Hatcher. You remember Darian Hatcher from the NHL a few years ago? That's his son. Currently out with, what was it?
Fractured hip.
Yeah, he's going to be I'm going to put him over on the injury list because he ain't coming back anytime soon. And you can see the indefinite injury. We don't even have a time coming back yet. And did I have anybody sitting down? It's 20 guys. Yeah, we had one guy playing semi-pro that was not on our active roster, so I'll just drag him back up in case Ford gets an injury, although he's pretty awful now that I look at it. May need to sign somebody there, and yeah, everybody's going to be tired for this one, but I think we'll just have to suck it up and play the game. I'm going to sim through this one. I think we may play the next one out. And we get a 4-1 win, so back-to-back wins. I think that's maybe the first time we've done that this year.
Be very close if not. Now, again, you talked a little bit about the SPHL and the differences. One of the things I don't believe you noted was also there's only 18 players dressed in a game.
Yep, it's so you don't have the full 4 lines like you would in the NHL. You've got your 3 lines and then fourth forward that sort of fills in wherever he can, at least the way we've got it set up. Or you'll have somebody, other players taking a double shift on the 4th line occasionally with him.
Yeah, and just because Jeff has downloaded as well, you might notice that they're all the correct logos are in for the SPHL teams. They do not come in the game by default. They've been added via a large mod pack.
Yeah, that's a mod that you can get on the workshop, I believe.
Yeah.
And the other thing I should mention is that, well, you may have noticed already when I'm looking at the news screen, you can see these little serial numbers on some of the messages. I'm playing a beta version right now. We just did a new build today, so testing out a few things as we're doing this. So if anything goes really weird, that will probably be why. One of the things I can show you, if those of you know the game, we've changed up the training screen a bit. So the idea is get you a little more information on this screen now. And so you can see the potential, everybody's age and their current ability and potential, and you can see the roost, so you've got an idea if they've got room to grow and if you want to invest some of your training points into them. And actually, I need to put some in here because you can see the bonus number in the parentheses is running up to 16. That's a little higher than I would want. Oh yeah, nobody on defensive training at all. That's no good. So clicking those in and it drops down. I normally like to keep that 12 or 13. Same thing on mental. And what I'm doing here is looking for the guys who've got relatively high potential and the ability is still a little lower. Oh, is that not calculating correctly? I don't think it is. There's a little bug we'll need to fix. That 20 should be dropping down, and it's not. No, I don't think that's being displayed correctly. Okay, that's one to fix before we release the update, but you get the idea.
That's what we test.
Yeah, the idea is that just in the numbers to the left of the parentheses where it just used to say, what was it, activate training or something like that. It tells you what the player's current skill level in that area is, and it's the same one that you get on the little pop-up screen. And you can see like the offensive, defensive, physical, and mental ratings there, or at least subcategories. And that just saves you having to scroll over and look at the pop-up when you're figuring out your training. Okay, so that bumps us up to 31 points. Ooh, all the way into 7th place. But now we've got this 3rd game in 3 nights. And we got, you see, guys dropping down to 68%. Problem is these rosters are so short, I've got nobody to plug in, especially with the one guy out injured. Oh wait,
That's
cameras.
why, if you've tuned into our earlier streams, we're fairly ruthless in just cutting people because you have to be.
Yep. I won't dump the guy with a broken hip yet. That seems a little cruel, but you see I'm going to swap in the winger there. And
it's cruel, but it's minor league sports. That's kind of what happens, unfortunately.
Yeah. And the problem we've had this season, or the weird thing, is our goalie, who's got the young guy's got a lot of potential, and should be at roughly the same level as the backup, but the backup has been playing much, much better. So I'm going to give the way the fitness is right now, I'm going to have to put Finn in goal and see if he can get his act together. But if at some point we're going to have to decide if the backup becomes the number 1 for the remainder of the season. And I will just quickly run through this. I'm not sure what options I've got set on here. It's just the goals. Whoops, want to crank the sound down so you don't get deafened when I run it. And I'm setting this on the minimal number of display options, so it'll only pop up. It'll only pause, other than showing the highlights on the left side. It'll pop up whenever we're going to about to get a goal. which apparently isn't going to happen in the first period. But we did lead them on shots, so we're getting a decent effort, despite being totally exhausted because they're probably not much better. Oh, we got something happening here. And they get the first one. Knoxville makes it 1-0. And you can see the stats over on the side changing as we play. Whoops. End of the second. No, I'm going to leave the tactics as they are. Partially because we just made a fix there and I don't want to take a chance on that not quite working yet in the middle of a stream. Come on, we're out shooting them and we're still getting shut out.
Sounds about right.
And we take a penalty with 4 minutes left. Brilliant. Oh, what do we got? No, it's probably going to be an empty netter. Maybe not. Oh, no! 29 seconds left. Ties the game. Trask, our best player.
Huzzah.
Unfortunately, it looks like we lost in the shootout. Wow, that was... And Minerva, the defenseman we just threw in, somehow wound up shooting last and missed, so... We got a point out of it at least, so we get 5 points out of 6 on the weekend. I'm not going to complain too much about that. And just looking over the stats. Oh, we still need to fix that coloring in that one on the game ratings. Haven't done that yet. Nice, 100 defensive rating for Hanley, one of the defensemen. And Trask, solid high 70s, low 80s across the board. Pretty good game for us. And now we get a break of a few days. Give us a little time to recover as we get around to next week, and you see we're still hanging on to the 7th place.
I'm still debating whether you're going to get fired by the end of the year or not.
It seems unlikely. We do have a board conference update here, and the owner thinks it's disappointing so far. And no, he's not even happy with the recent performance. Come on, dude. Checking the job security screen, though, so we're still... Fan happiness is still well in the green. Job security is still pretty solid, so I'm not worried yet. Team chemistry is good. So the wheels aren't really falling off or anything yet, just a little bit of a disappointing start. Undo that one change I had.
Little bit of a there's 10 teams in the league, 8 make the playoffs, and you're missing them.
And what? We're in the play? No, we're in the playoffs now. We're in a playoff spot.
Oh, I'm sorry, by like 1 point.
Better than that, isn't it? Wait, let me see. It's 3 points, I'll have you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. How could I be so mistaken?
So in the real hockey world, some big news today. Leafs dump Mike Babcock.
Who's that?
Not familiar with him? How soon they forget.
Of course, right into time with that in the chat, someone says, what about Mike Babcock's job security?
Yeah.
From Gouda Creative and on our Twitch chat. Yeah, well, that was... Anyone who was shocked by it was not paying enough attention.
I'm a little surprised it happened this early in the year.
That's what's on. But you know what? I can't remember who it was, if it was on Twitter or if it was on an article I was reading, but they said before the game last night, like I read it earlier in the day, they said if the Leafs lost the game last night, they would statistically be unlikely to make the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I mean, you're projecting a lot there, but...
Well, no, they said like even if their top players go back to the way they were playing, they would still miss the playoffs.
And I decided to check here in our game. Babcock's actually doing fantastic. Leafs are second in the division, near second overall in the league too. I think Boston's the only one ahead of them. Yep. So okay, maybe they could be doing a little bit better than Babcock has been doing with them this year.
Yeah, so he's gone. Sheldon Keefe's up.
Which will be interesting. He's been had a lot of success at lower levels, but he's also got that questionable association with what's his name, the guy who had one of his players try to kill him.
Yeah, I'm trying. There was a
5-2 win for us again.
There was a book that I read that basically dealt with that whole saga as one of the like ending sections, and I'm trying to remember who it was. Was it James Duthie's book?
Yeah, James Duthie's
can't
book.
remember.
Not he's not the guy. They weren't trying to kill James Duthie.
No. Somebody's book, and I can't remember off the top of my head, and I feel bad about knowing it. But it talks all about like him and his growth and turning into the coach that he is, and it's a really good read and kind of explains a lot about Sheldon Keefe.
Okay, got a bit of a problem here. We got Jake Trask, our best player and captain, has bruised his ribs in practice.
We're practicing a little too hard. Fire the coach! Fire the coach!
So what I'm going to do is give the... Wait, I'm going to have to do it this way. Let's just rejuggle the lines completely because I don't... I'm going to ask for the AI's help here. Okay, yeah, it wants to do it that way. Oh, Cameron on the first line. That's surprising, although he's more fit than anybody else. Give it a shot. Try Finn the backup and goal again, although we did win the first game of the back-to-back. And a 7-4 win, so we're starting to roll now. And Pirog in the first line center role has 3 points. So that leaves us, no, we're not really climbing out. Oh, yeah, there's that big glut here in the right in the middle of the standings. We're 1 point back of, well, technically being out of 4th place. Oh boy, fitness is a mess. We have a very tired team here.
I had to go go to my bookshelf and find the book that I was looking for. That was all about it. And the book took me a few minutes to find it. But
and we lose in overtime, but we keep our point streak going.
3 minutes to find. It was Bob McKenzie's last book.
Oh, I didn't realize he wrote one about that. Or was it just... Was it on that whole thing specifically, or...?
It's a chapter on Sheldon Keefe in Hockey Confidential, which I think actually just went into paperback.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's called The Road to Redemption. Sheldon Keefe's quest to be his own man and put his checkered past behind him. And it's a good story that goes on for... Well, I said it's a full chapter, so it's something like 40 pages or so. It's the second last chapter in the book. And definitely a good read anyways. I highly recommend the book if you're interested in hockey or anything else.
Okay, we picked up another injury, but I think we got a couple of guys ready to come back, so we'll see what we are at in another day or so.
Question from CS High 312 in our Twitch chat says, how many games are in the SPHL season anyways?
56. You can see that right there on the rules screen. League rules. So it's a little shorter schedule too. We're about 2/3 of the way through it right now, which means we've probably got to start worrying about making up some ground. Oh, great.
Which I mean makes sense when you're basically only playing weekends.
Yep. And some more line juggling. Yeah, that seems a little more reasonable this time. And Pensacola finally lose the undefeated streak, or at least point streak. 5-3 loss in Pensacola. And staying there for the game the next night. Oh, that's a Pensacola to Macon is a fairly short road trip. You'd think they could do back-to-backs, but apparently not.
On the bus.
Oh, Trask isn't totally healthy yet. Henry's relatively... Okay, we'll put Finn in goal tonight to back up again. And see if these guys can redeem themselves in the second half. And apparently not. 6-2 loss, so... Pensacola seems to have our number, even though we were doing a little bit better against the rest of the league. And I think I need to look at maybe grabbing another forward from somewhere, probably a winger.
Probably not a bad idea.
So the way I'll do that is with the player search feature rather than using the regular free agent one, because this one will let me look at other leagues as well, so anybody that's signable. And realistically, we're not going to get anybody that's about higher than 2.5 stars. And I will... Good.
Oh, I just need to throw out there because I said something and I think I was incorrect on it. This is Bob McKenzie's second last book. His last book was Everyday Hockey Heroes. And Hockey Confidential was the one before that.
Okay, so you can see I'm running through these guys, and it's basically a collection of people playing senior hockey. One guy playing college hockey in Alberta. Couple of guys playing college hockey in Alberta. This guy, Cole Gable.
And just because we've sorted and found them doesn't necessarily mean that they will sign with us either.
Yeah. Oh, so there's a 1.5 star guy. Also, Tremblay. Played a little bit in the Q last year, and now he's at NAIT, Northern Alberta Institute of Technology in Edmonton. Going to school, but let's see if he wants to play some minor league hockey. Oh, we're at our maximum contract limit, so can't do that. And that's where the injured guys become a problem. I really don't want to dump Hatcher because he was playing reasonably well.
It's time to Dutch Hatcher.
I'm going to let Caligari.
Hatcher's gone for at least 5 months. He's not helping us this season.
Oh, is it that? Oh,
he's
yeah.
Not signed for next.
Okay. Fair point. Give him a little money and off he goes. Oops, lost my filters there, but get that back easy enough. The important one here is the signable filter, because clicking that will let me see all the players who can sign with us, even if they're contracted somewhere else now. And he's willing to take minimum salary and has good potential, so...
Maybe you should put Chase Hatcher on the short list or something, too. Just a thought. So I remember him.
We'll do that. Okay, and now we got to... Okay, we signed Tremblay. He has fairly high potential, so I'm giving him a couple of training bonuses. The guys will train even if I don't add that bonus to them, but that gives them a little extra coaching help when you check the box in that category for their name. And teams looks like they're separating a little bit. We got 2 points above and behind us.
Excellent.
And we do have a trading deadline in this league, but I can't really... This isn't really a league where you... I'm trading makes a lot more sense because it's much easier just to sign a guy. Maybe if you had somebody who was really unhappy with his team, you could shop them around and get rid of them that way, but other than that, generally much easier to cut somebody off the bottom of your roster. And I'm going to put the backup in because I think he's just become our starter. And we come out with a 2-1 overtime win. And solid game out of the backup goalie who's now the starter. Game 2 of the back-to-back. Other goalie gets a chance and comes up with a 3-0 shutout. Very nice. We're almost back to 500. And Trombley, the kid we just signed, picked up 2 goals.
Yeah, excellent.
But yeah, I mean, you can get an idea of the level of the league from the type of guys we're signing here. Mostly guys who are sort of middle-of-the-road junior players or good junior A guys. And didn't really attract any NHL attention, didn't get an AHL contract, so they're either going back to school or just playing beer league hockey, or if they're good enough, somebody like us in the minors will give them a chance. Fitness is drifting a little low. I'm going to put Minerva in for Sanders. So he's down into the 50s. That's definitely the danger zone there. Oh, and Trask is healthy again. That's much better. Sid Williamson out for this one. Temporarily redo the lines, but I'll want to go back and change that because he's one of our better wingers. He was just a little tired there. And a 3-1 win over Evansville, which gets us back to 19-19-5. Oh, that's
back at 500.
Imu, the goalie for Evansville, is I think that's the son of Dusty Imu, who used to play here in Kelowna in junior, and actually wound up being the Japanese national team goalie for a while.
Interesting.
And he was I think one of the seasons he was here in Junior A, he was the backup to a friend of mine, who kind of went on to the WHL too, but didn't quite make it any farther than that. But Imu played a little bit of minor league hockey, and then I think went over to play in Japan for a while, and I guess got his citizenship. And I think he was. Did they make the? I can't remember if he was in the Olympics or if it was a World Championship, but got into at least one pretty high-level tournament with them.
Well, they would have been given a.
Oh right, it was
placement in '98.
Yeah, it was Nagano. Yeah, that's right. That's when he played.
I wanted to say sponsors exemption, but that's not the right word.
Yeah, I mean it's effectively the same thing.
Yeah, I know it is, but it's still not what's not the right thing that's coming to mind.
And looks like we got a bit
host
of an
exemption, something like that.
Yeah. Oh, great handling. One of our better defensemen got hurt at some point too. Groin strain, and great, he's going to be out. So I want to put. Oops.
Oh, did you see that St. Louis has signed Troy Bauer to a deal today?
Nope, missed that.
It just happened a couple hours ago.
Bauer, you mean?
Yes, that's what I said.
That's it. Yeah, you said Bauer.
No.
Like the skate.
If I did, I didn't mean to. But yeah, they had him there on a PTO with somebody else, and he signed. The other guy was released. Yeah.
A couple of guys back in the league that I thought were going to be done. We pick up, we lose in overtime in Knoxville. Got a point at least. Chris Stewart's still hanging in there, surprisingly. after going over to play in England last year.
Yeah, there's been a lot of surprising things so far this year. Let's be honest. And of course, the most important news of the day, that the NHLPA is now in a legal battle with the NHL and the Jets
Oh, I missed that. What happened?
over Dustin Byfuglien.
Oh, great. What does he want?
Nothing. The PA is suing, saying he should get his money for being under contract because he had surgery. They had 60 days to file the grievance.
Didn't he conveniently have the surgery after he decided he was going to hold out?
Well, he's not holding out. He never has see, that's the whole thing that everyone kind of not from around Winnipeg doesn't, or there's that mistaken thing. He never held out. He's not holding out. He basically showed up to camp and decided he didn't want to play.
Which is somehow different than holding out?
No. By all accounts from what I've heard, although unconfirmed, was he basically told the Jets he didn't have the passion for the game and was going to retire, and the Jets basically said, no, don't retire. Go home and make sure this is really what you want to do. And he reached out to some other players, and they told him kind of the same thing. Make sure it's really what you're going to do. Now, apparently, they said he had an ankle injury last year, which he got operated on and didn't tell anybody in Winnipeg about in October, which is when this whole news broke. And that because he's been suspended and not getting paid, the PA is going, well, if the injury happened during the season, he should be on long-term injured reserve and getting his money, not being suspended without pay. And so they're like, oh, well, it might be causing all this friction between Byfuglien and the Jets. And I think pretty much the Jets are more upset that he didn't let his feelings be known, that he wasn't 100% sure he wasn't going to play, throughout the season. And that's probably what they're a little bit unhappy about, but they're willing to get over it if he's going to come. I don't think they probably care very much about whether he wants 2 or 3 million, but the NHL is upset because he signed a contract, or his statement at the end of the year saying he was healthy. Or not healthy, but good enough for the summer, like his year-end physical. And that's where it's becoming a bit of a fight between the PA and the NHL going, you signed a contract saying that you are healthy enough. You shouldn't be getting paid for something that you should have not agreed to. And so that's where it's all going to boil down to. And so this has this long reaching effects for everybody. And so everybody's kind of looking at it going, well, oh man, are they going to be able to salvage the Winnipeg and Dustin Byfuglien relationship? And I think for most people in Winnipeg, at least, or in the surrounding area, Jets fans are going, and again, my personal opinion is I don't think the Jets really care that much. They're just being like, we want it resolved. And do we really want to pay him? Probably not. But is that going to ruin the relationship they've had with him? Because I mean, if the Jets traded him away, there'd be a lot of, well, let's put the job security way down for the Jets.
And mostly good news in this game. We had a nice development report. The owner is a little happier with us now. We did just lose 3-0. So we're back slipping under 500, but we're still in 6th place. And we're about to get one of our better players, Wegleitner, back very soon, apparently. Although hopefully that'll be... Let's see, we just... wonder if we should change that little thing in the upcoming schedule part to days of the week instead of yesterday, today, tomorrow.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Kind of give you a better sense of where you are in the calendar. Talk to Sebastian about that and see what they think.
But tomorrow's yesterday.
Tomorrow is yesterday.
Tomorrow's yesterday.
Care to explain that?
No, tomorrow's yesterday for the day after.
That still doesn't make sense.
What's that?
I'm missing a reference or something here.
No. Tomorrow is yesterday for the day after.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was thinking yesterday was, yeah, all right, I got you.
I'm not
Okay,
sure
Wegleitner
if
is back.
Steam is still working or not. I just have a spinning logo of Steam, so
Oh, let me, oops.
there's
So,
still people apparently watching. So I don't know if it's just my signal, but I'm just letting you know, Jeff.
I still got it on mine.
All right, perfect. That's all I wanted to know.
Still showing the same number, which is a little suspicious, so I don't know if that's
I got one
legit.
other idea. Let me try.
Go back out to the, the main broadcast page and see if it's still showing up there.
No, that's too much work.
Oh, okay.
I have a better idea.
Wouldn't want to inconvenience you.
No, I have it pulled up on through my Steam app. Goody's checking it out for us too, and I'm pulling it up on the web page. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, we're good. Yep.
Still there? Yep.
Yep.
And a
Actually, there's
5-3 win
even more people
over
apparently
Huntsville to
watching.
get us back to 500. Trask gets 3 points in his first game back. Or second game back, I think. I gotta figure out how to set up my screens better for this. I can try to see the...
Steve in the chat has got it. There he goes. Today is tomorrow's yesterday. Exactly.
And Quad City fired their coach, apparently. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the guy's name.
You're next.
I'm not even close to being fired.
You're next. Quad City coach. Let me just check out the name. Dave Pizanski.
Pizanski. You sure about that?
Pizanski.
Pizanski? You're looking that up somewhere, or are you...
No, I'm looking at it.
Just
I just
guessing?
looked up who the head coach was. I would say that's probably how you say it. Pizanski? Pizanski? Something like that.
Anybody, any minor league hockey fans in Illinois want to fill us in on that? Feel free. Still
Let me
sticking right in the
Google.
middle of the league.
Dave Piz.
And everybody is healthy now, minus Hatcher, the guy we cut loose. Still seems kind of cold.
Gudu, take it back. Take it back. Oh, this guy played for the Sarnia Sting.
Oh, wow.
Alright, okay.
Okay, our goalie got blown out 7-0, although he got outshot pretty badly there, too. Okay, it's Birmingham. And then that was the team that was right in front of us. I think they just jumped us in the standings with that win. That wasn't good. But we got back-to-back now against Fayetteville. Try the other goalie in this one. And at least we made it to overtime. Got a point there before losing. Michael Jordan, the Czech defenseman? Chat question.
It's Shinitsky.
That's... How did they get that? Okay.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. I'm listening to this again.
Oh, you... What, got on
Dave
YouTube or something?
Shinitsky.
Okay. Could have fooled me. And wheels are kind of coming off on us here. Although we've still got 6 points up on a playoff spot, but we got to turn this around here.
If anybody wants to check, I posted the link in from a video I found with him when he was still a player. Michael Jordan played for Birmingham. Yes, that is correct. He played for they're not the Bulls, are they?
Barons.
No. Barons, thank you. They still play. They're still a AA team, I believe.
Yep.
Playable in out of the park baseball.
Southern League.
P-Wog in the chat says, where do you think Babcock will end up?
My guess is Seattle. He's a Western guy. He played junior in Spokane.
I think there is a slight chance.
Or coached in, rather. No, he played junior here in Kelowna. He coached in Spokane.
I think there is a slight chance he could end up back in Detroit.
Yeah.
I'm not ruling out the possibility.
P-Wog, you heard anything about that, about him coming back?
Gudu thinks the Canucks, Jeff.
I don't think so. Trying to fix our... We're doing too well this year. Trying to fix our luck by playing a game out here. Although I shouldn't say that, because now we got people speculating in the forums that it's somehow different if I play the games out versus simulating them, and it isn't. It's the same game engine either way.
That's what people have already said. I've seen that.
And 1-1 tie at the end of the first.
Makes a difference if you're adjusting everything.
2-0, and Wegleitner was back from the injury now. Puts us ahead. Yeah, I mean, you do get it's. You will tend to do a little bit better if you're playing with the lines and tactics on a minute-to-minute basis, but I don't need to do that here because we're now up 3-1. And Pirog having a great game. His game rating's at 88, defensive rating's at 100.
P-Wog's having a great game. All right, good job, P-Wog.
It's Pirog, not to be confused with P-Wog, and the Steam people are probably confused by who we're talking about. We've also got the Twitch stream going, so we're talking to some of the people chatting in that.
Twitchers.
Yeah. And CSE, we're running over him here, 43-15 on shots final, and 3-1 win.
Also, okay, you want to know who also probably has an outside shot of landing Babcock as a coach? Hear me out. Hear me out. Chicago.
I could see it.
I could also see an outside shot of Minnesota, but I don't think Minnesota, that would be a bad move for them.
I think that'd be a bad move for him, because why would he want to go back? I mean, if you're going to go to a team that's going to have to rebuild anyhow, why not go to Seattle, where you can have complete say in who they draft and.
Of course, Calgary might be looking for a coach soon too.
And it's inevitable that the wheels will come off in Edmonton at some point, and they'll be looking for another one by the end of the year, regardless of how well they're doing now.
Dave Tippett's going to have them play in structured defense.
Sure he is.
If there's one thing Dave Tippett does, is it's defense, not leaving his.
And if it's the one thing, if there's one thing the Oilers do, it's disappointing coaches. Okay, we're at 2 games left in the season. Almost have a playoff spot clinched, but we're going to wind up with a tough opponent in the first round. Do I want to put anybody in? Everybody's at perfect fitness. Child finally got an extra, developed into another half-star in goalie, so he's really the clear-cut best one now. So I think I'm going to trust that he's a little hotter too, and we'll go with him as a starter the rest of the way. And he pays it off with a 5-2 win. And we're 2 games in a row where we really outshot the other team. We're looking better than that. I think that actually clinched the playoff spot. You see, there's a warning there that was it the Pensacola coach was in trouble. It was Phil Esposito, but not that Phil Esposito. And another 6-2 win, big win against Evansville. And that was the last game of the season, so we finished 1 point under 500. But 7th overall, and looks like we're getting Roanoke in the first round. The Rail Yard Dogs.
Rail Yard Dogs. Who destroyed everybody in the league.
Oh, end of the year award nominees. Nobody for MVP, goalie of the year. Nope. Come on, Macon, somewhere in there.
Jeff, you're making me crazy.
Literally no nominees whatsoever for anything. So that's I think we can blame this on the lack of player perform great, and Sulamidas, one of our better wingers, gets hurt. It's only day to day, but so Cameron can come in for him.
Sure.
Game 1 against Roanoke, and we've got about 10 minutes left here in the show. So I think I'll sim the first couple, and we lose 2-0. See, can't blame it on the goalies. And let's just take a look at the playoff tree for a sec here. Oh, these are only best of three series, so it's do or die in the next one for us. And Sulamidas is going to have to go back in. What?
I'm not saying it just because I shouldn't, but you should read.
Yeah. I see it. Whatever, Guru. I have no idea what you're talking about there. Okay, I'm gonna.
We all know the truth.
No, see, the goalie has gone. Backup's gone completely cold on us, so I'm gonna have to. Let's play it out. That worked last time. And this one will be at home in Macon, so maybe we can at least make this go 3 games. They are out shooting him early in the game. Back and forth. We're going to get something here. Yep, Sanders makes it 1-0 for us. And 15 shots in the first period, so we're definitely playing better at home.
Well, that's what should happen.
Second period, wow, we got... And they tie it up. 1-1. Sounded like they put in a rebound. And we're in trouble again. 2-1. Losing by 1 goal. Season on the line. Half a period left. Can we do it? Not so far. Winding down. Come on, guys. Nope. Goalie was out, and that is the end of the season with a 2-1 home loss to the number 2 team in the league.
Unsurprising.
So I will let the... well, it doesn't matter if he's injured. We're done. Oops. Do it this way. I'm not sure why we've got an unanswered email, but get rid of it all. And a couple of weeks should be, you can see the playoff schedule ticking by. Looks like Knoxville and Roanoke in the final. Again, best of 3. Didn't realize their playoff series were so short. I think they'd want to stretch that out and make a little more money from the home gates. And Knoxville looks like won that. 4-2 win. And I got a couple minutes left to go on the show, so that despite that, that early exit kind of threw us off a little bit, but yeah, Knoxville with the championship, and we have to see if we can get anybody on, the better players under contract for next year. I'm not optimistic about being able to re-sign Trask.
I think the bigger question is, if we get a contract offer to move to a better league, do we take it?
Let's see if we get one first.
Well, I mean, maybe go to the ECHL, maybe end up in the CHL. Oh, go to the French league, whose name I can never say.
Oh, the North American League, the one in Quebec, you mean?
Yes,
The Goon
I
League.
said the French. Yeah.
Well, there is a literal French league in the game.
Steed42 says, I can't wrap my head around how Roanoke has a hockey team. As we have explored previously on some of our older streams, Roanoke has a rich hockey history dating back to at least the Roanoke Valley Rebels, who were
Great logo.
one of the great logos that were an affiliate for the Winnipeg Jets in the WHA, and they probably had some roots before that, as I doubt the team just happened to be there.
So basically what I can do here is get the players who were the younger guys who had some potential. See, neither one of the goalies wants to re-sign with us. This is going to be a rebuilding job in the off-season.
Well, would you want to play for a team that can't even finish 500?
Well, the idea is you stick with the team and help it build up, and
Well, you say that, but I guess you're going to find this really quick.
What?
Well, on The Athletic, there was an article done with Nathan Beaulieu, who now plays for the Jets, but previously was with Buffalo. And
Yeah, I think I saw a couple of quotes from that.
yeah, the one quote stuck out with me, which kind of seems appropriate right now. I'm just trying to flip back. Here we go. Beaulieu on his time with the Sabres. Mentally, it was so degrading. You heard Ryan O'Reilly say it, and I know the Sabres didn't like what he said, but he couldn't have put it better.
Okay. Oh, I signed what I could. I may try it again later in the summer when some guys come down a little bit in their
Right
demands.
now, you should try and re-sign Hatcher. Or sign Hatcher to a 2-year deal.
I think the contract limit is 1 year, so even if I were to sign him, it would... Oh, he doesn't even want to talk to us. He hates us. I mean, justifiably. Did he get healthy at any point? Yeah, it looks like he got... Oh, no, he's still out for 1 to 2 months. So he'll be healthy after the summer. We'll see where he winds up, but I don't think it's going to be with us. I think so we got no, it's a minor league, so we got no draft coming up, so we don't have any way to rebuild that way. I got a few guys under contract for next year.
Gudu says he bought tickets for Canada's World Champs warm-up game against Great Britain. I'm guessing is GB here next May, which should be a blast.
That should be competitive.
I will say it's been 20 years since I used to love playing and destroying Great Britain United Kingdom team on NHL 99 with the Detroit Red Wings. Or Team Canada. Those are always fun matchups.
We do have two playable English leagues in this game, so really should try one of those at one point.
Maybe you'll get a job offer for there.
That's a possibility.
P1 Go Wings in the chat.
Late development report. A few guys improving. Don't know if any of them are necessarily going to be back next year. Oh no, some of these guys are. Does Minerva want to sign with us? Yes, he does. Well, that's what he gets for improving. But yeah, the guts of the team. Let's take one last look at the scoring before we wind this up. How that wound up. Timofeyev, despite the low star rating, did better than I thought. Maybe I'll see if he wants. Yeah, he does want to renew. So yeah, I'm looking not a lot of second. Well, First line's okay, and then it really drops off after that. One or two guys, well, the center's scoring, but really weak on the wings. Tremblay, the guy we picked up late in the season out of the college in Alberta, 10 points in 16 games. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
And which... I think Dunn was one of the free agents we signed. Did reasonably well. But there'll be a new crop of guys graduating from college or aging out of junior. Oh wow, Trask, half of his points are on the power play.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Then again, 20 years leading scorer only having 26 points and 26 full strength, even strength points in 47 games isn't a good thing. He wasn't even the even strength point leader. Timofeyev had 27. He's just got a freakish number of power play points. How did we check that? Team stats. Power play percentage? Oh no, we were still middle of the pack, so it wasn't like we had a really good power play.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, we're middle of the road pretty much everything here. And leading scorer in the league, 36-year-old Patrick Jarrett, former German league player. Played a little in the Czech leagues. Denmark, wow, he's been all over the place. So I think we can wind it up there, Adam, and then we'll come back to this. And actually, no, we won't. We won't be back to this one in a little while because we'll be on Adam's game next Wednesday. And then I am off for a couple of weeks after that, so I think it'll be a little before Christmas before we see this game again.
For sure. All right, so thank you very much for tuning in to another Franchise Hockey Manager 6 stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. All of our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments. You can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. On Twitter, we're at Franchise Hockey. We can also find a link to our official Discord in our profile. Great. You can also come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, and that will bring you to our official forums where you can talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, Perfect Team, which now has tournaments, and just about anything else you want to. And as Jeff said, we are currently working on a new build of the game, which we were testing tonight.
Yep, hoping to have that out in the next probably week and a half or so. I think we're going to keep it at least till next week and then see if we can get some more into it. But fixed a few things in it, a couple of nasty bugs that people have brought to our attention, so that's fixed. And you saw the new training screen and a couple other new additions. So we will hopefully have something new for you guys to look at next week, and then we'll be doing probably one more big update before Christmas in addition to that one. So thanks for coming out, and we will see you all back here next week.